content is also visible. Okay. So yesterday we were working on a dynamic web project. So let's see what we were doing there. So we were using the servlets for what? For working them as a server. And we have completed the registration part. The registration part was completed. And we were trying to do the login part. So let's start. So this is what we did yesterday. Like registration part was completed. So at first we will start the application and then we will check it. So this is what we built, a simple user validation with login and sign up. So we'll go to sign up and there you can put your details to do the login sign up. And after doing the sign up successfully, you will come to the login page. We'll go to our database. And this is the value that just now we have written. Now what we are going to do, we will add the login functionality. So let's understand what we are going to do. Now in the next step, we will integrate the login logic. If a user has done the registration, or you can say only those user which has done registration, they can log in. Other users will get error page that you can't log in, like that you will get. So this is what we are going to apply here. For that, at first, create a new controller class. Yesterday we written that or not? Okay, no. Create a controller class and name it as login controller, which will control the login logic. Once it is done, annotate the class with @ web servlet so that it can accept a request, and the request will come as validate user. The request will come at validate user. After that, extends extends HTTP servlet class. So these are the three steps that you have to do with your login controller. And if you see in the login controller, validate user annotation, extending HTTP servlet, overriding the do post method. Write a query to check whether user exists or not. Return suitable page. Now this is what we are going to do here. So in the do post method, at first we took the email, then we took the password from these fields, email and password. Then we are trying to create a connection, creating a statement, and statement we are writing like this, that select asterisk from users where email ID is equals to something and clause password is equal to something. Means if both the values are matching, in that case we will get the user. Then setting the values, first value is email, means first question mark is for email, second is for password. Now we will execute the query. So ps dot execute query. Now if you have done this, it returns a result set. What it does, it returns a result set. So what I will do, result set rs is equals to ps dot execute query. If your user is available in database, let's just try to understand this flow. So there is a login page. There is a login page, And in this login page, you are taking email and password from the user. There is a database and there is one controller in between of them. These email and password will go to the controller. And what this controller will do? Controller will prepare a statement, or a statement will be nothing, it will be just a query. So controller will prepare a statement, or you can say a query with email and password to check if those details are available in database. In database like that. And that statement will be executed over database. Now here checking will be done. Details will be checked here in the database. This is your database where details will be checked. Once the details are checked, database will return a result set. What database will return? Database will return a result set, as we are working with normal JDBC and all. So it will return the result set to the controller only. Now here once controller got that, it will check. So how it will check? If user exists, if user is available in the database, then it will if user exists, if this condition is true that yes user is available, then here we will show the welcome page. Here we will show the welcome page. If user does not exist in the database, then we will show the error page. Then we will show the error page. So this is the complete controller flow for a login controller. Here result set will have the values and you have to iterate over the values. So what I have written here, that result set RS. Here I will write a loop. If RS dot next, and RS dot next returns a Boolean value. What it returns? I will show you. RS means result set dot next. You can see that it returns a Boolean value. It will return Boolean value if values are available. If values are not available, then it will return false. It's so simple. If rs dot next means user is available. If user is available, then I will say response. Response we are taking as RESP. Response dot send redirect. Then we will redirect the user to a page. So in the user validation, SRC, main and web app, in the web app, I will create a new file. File now, we can create a normal file, but let me mention here, the file will be something like this, welcome.html. But there is a simple problem. If I am saying welcome.html, you can only show the static content. Let's say if Shankar is doing login, I should say welcome Shankar. If Shivam is login, I should say welcome Shivam. Means the page should be looking different for all of the users. Page, okay, as of now, I will keep it welcome.html only. But later on, I will change it to a JSP page, welcome.jsp. But as of now, I will keep it welcome.html. So in the web app folder, I will create a new file and I will name it as welcome.html. And here we will just write the basic code here. Title is welcome page, and in the body we are writing welcome user like this. And in the login controller, if user is available, rs dot next, it returns a boolean value. If user is available, we will send redirect to welcome.html. Welcome.html. In the else, we should create a error page, and the page name is means a simple HTML file, user not available, user not available dot html. And here we will write a very basic code, error page. It is our error page. Welcome, instead of welcome user, we should say error 404, user not found. And after that we will give a anchor tag for what? Sign up. The user is not available, so you have to do sign up, and this sign up will take us to which page? Same, sign up dot html like this. Okay, we will get this sign up dot html. So let's start the application. So I will do login. At first I will write very random values or some wrong password like this. Submit. After doing the submit, here we didn't got anything. Okay. In the error part, we are not sending that. So response dot send redirect. We will redirect the user to user not available dot html. In this case, we will send the response like this. Okay. Response dot send redirect, user not available. We'll restart the application. We'll log in again. Any random value we will write. So still we are not getting that. No problem. Let's check the data here. Here we are not getting any error. In the login controller, it is taking us to validate user, and this validate user is not taking us anywhere. It should do these kind of things, right? So we have to check it whether if it is even working or not. So one mistake we did here, first of all, this response stat send redirect should be the code of else. First mistake, because we are not getting any error, so catch will not work. And here we got that error 404 user not found, and sign up means you can do sign up, and sign up took us to the sign up page, or you can log in again. Now let's try to log in with the real email and the real password. So let's say this one ABC 123456 is the password. This is the email ID, or 123456 is the password. Submit. And here I got welcome user. Here we got welcome user, like this, welcome user. Same this application is running right in the Chrome. I will open it in the Edge here. That is localhost 8080 slash. I will log in here with a different email address. Same password. And here also I got welcome user. Here also I got welcome user. When I got the welcome user section here, this is a different user, and whatever user has logged in here, both are different. So page should be different for both the users. It should not be a same page. We should get a welcome message with the name. If Shankar is logging here, then welcome Shankar, or whatever the username is. Now HTML is a static page, which is not at all dynamic. So here we have something as JSP. I will give you one very basic thing of JSP. I will tell you, wait. JSP. First of all, it is Java or Jakarta server pages. See, whenever you are working, let's say you are filling a form or you are doing a booking, you will never see pages like .html. You will always see as ASP, ASPX, JSP, like that pages you will see. ASP is active server page. It is Jakarta or Java server pages. So like that you will get. At first JSP is Java server page. One simple line, it is the superset of HTML. It is the superset. Did you worked on JSP? Advanced Java? It's the core part of advanced, so you might have discussed it. It is the superset of HTML. Superset of HTML means it will support whatever HTML support. It means that it will support all the tags of HTML, all the tags of HTML, and it will also provide some dynamic functionality. Why we are using JSP, by the way? Because if you see carefully, in my Chrome, I have logged in with a different email and password. I got welcome user. Here also I got welcome user. Because it's a HTML page, it will be same for everyone. I want this page to be different. At first, I will convert the page. So welcome.html, I will rename it to welcome.jsp. You directly create JSP only. Welcome.jsp, and same HTML code I will write there without any change. What I have written, same HTML code, and it will work fine also. Let me show it to you. So run on server. We'll do login and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. We have to change in the login controller from welcome.html to welcome.jsp. And here we got welcome user. So JSP will work fine. Like all the HTML content will be supported. With it will also provide some dynamic functionality. What it will do, it will provide some dynamic functionality. So let's try to add that dynamic functionality now. Try to understand what I'm doing. Here we will check if rs dot next, if rs dot next, in that case response dot send redirect welcome dot jsp. We are doing like this, no problem. Before sending the request to this page, let's create a session here. What I will do, I will create a session, that to HTTP session. HTTP session. So here we have created a HTTP session with its object name as session. Now I will create this session by using this request only. So req dot get session request will create a session here. What I want, that if user is available, user will have one name or not. We will send this name to the welcome page. You can send the entire user, but I just want to send the name of user to welcome page. So at first I have created the session here. Now I need that name which is available inside rs. So here I will create a string name is equals to string name equals to rs dot get string. You can write the column name, column number. So in the database, column name is name. Means give the values of column whose name is name. Inside this, you can say username value, string username. Let's keep it name. String name equals to, from the result set you will get it. After that, I will set this name to the session. For that, I will say session dot set attribute. session dot set attribute. Attribute will have two things. First, the value that you are sending. I am sending the value of name. It is the second thing actually. Second is the variable name. Second is the variable name for JSP file. I will say username. Means if you are accepting the name in welcome file, you have to type username, variable name. So session will take this value now. Now how to accept it inside welcome.jsp? Here I have given the session. In welcome.jsp, at the top of HTML, I will write something. If we want to import something in JSP, how to import something in JSP? See, if you want to write the tag of JSP, they are written like HTML tag only, like this, with a added percentage sign, like this. Now this is a tag of JSP. This is a tag of HTML. Add a percentage in between like this. This is a tag of JSP now. This is the only difference, right? So at first I will create the JSP tag here and I will import. So I will write at the rate of page. So what I will write here, at the rate of page, means I am importing something. Now what I am importing? What you are sending to this page? I am sending a session. Session is created by HTTP. HTTP is created by servlet. Means my welcome.jsp file should be able to accept a session. So now whenever you are writing this, you can type the Java code here. So I will type import. Generally, that is how we import something in Java, by writing import. For servlet, if you check, we have packages like jakarta.servlet, like this packages we are having. But here I will say import equals to, I will import like this. Import equals to, and then double quotes, Java X version problem, because web module version is 3.0. 3.0 support Java X, not Jakarta. So Java X dot servlet package. Inside this also HTTP, as we are working with HTTP dot asterisk, means all the files. First, this is we are importing. Second, we will import Java X dot servlet dot asterisk. These three things, two packages we are importing here, so that we can work with servlets. After that, again I will create a JSP tag like this. Now inside this JSP tag, I will say that string username. String username. Now who is sending the username? Session. So here I will type session dot, in login controller you are doing session dot set attribute. It's a setter method. Here you will do get attribute. Session dot get attribute. Session dot get attribute. By writing which name you are sending, you are writing username here. Same you have to write there. user name. There will be a cast problem. It will return object and you are setting string. So here you can cast it to string like this. So you got the string username here like this. And in the body, I am writing welcome user. Now no need to write welcome user. What I can write here? At first, you can write a tag of JSP. The first thing. At first, we have written the JSP tag and you can write here equals to username. This one. Like this. User name. Now we'll start the application. By the way, all these things are very easy in Spring. We don't have to do this much thing. So let's try to log in here. We will put email ID. And here we got welcome Shivu for the email ID ABC. Now let's try to log in with a different account. So here let's say shankar@gmail.com. Password is something. We'll submit. And here we got welcome Shankar. Same welcome page is looking different for two users. If there is third user, let's say here also we are having the same thing. Here we will log in with a different account. Let's say this one. Same page is looking different for three different users. Here you are getting message as welcome Shivam. Here you are getting welcome Shivu. Here you are getting welcome Shankar. So that is called a dynamic page, which is looking different for all the users. That's it. Login sign up is done. Now in this application, everything is all right. In this application, everything is all right with a minor problem. Guess what is the problem in this? Don't just watch the things, observe them. Create a draft of the application in your brain. Try to ask at least 10 edge cases inside this application, that what if we are writing wrong values? What if we are doing this? Try to become an engineer. Don't be a copy paste programmer. What can be the problem in this application? It's for all, online, offline. Just try to drop what will what can be the problem in this application. Here we have seen login sign up is working all right, right? We are getting the dynamic page different for all the users. What can be the possible problem? In error we are going to error page also, that is also fine. Think. Okay, let me help you out here. In case mail, we can give in name only, not use at the rate of in mail. Is it for sign up Lucky and empty values? Let me sort that problem also. You are saying that we can write empty values. So first of all, you cannot write empty value because in the sign up and log sign up page, we have given required attribute that you have to give these values at any cost. Empty values is not a case. If email ID is not having at the rate of sign page, lucky, you see what page I am opening here. This is on the sign up page only. At first, empty values will not go in email. If you are only writing the name, you are not typing the at the rate of, please include at the rate of. It will say, because type as email we have written. Same thing, let's attach on the login page as well, that empty. Okay, here also. So this is not a problem. Whatever problem written by Ravi and Lucky, we have already handled that. Try to think other problems. You are still thinking on the HTML level only. Think on the Java level. Okay, let me help you out here. Correct email but wrong password. No problem. If you are writing correct email and wrong password, how it is a problem? Let's say this is correct email. This is wrong password. You will go to the error page. That user not found. You have to do sign up. That is not a problem. Let me tell you the problem here. And remember this. This is a universal problem. If your application, but it should say incorrect password. I said the problem in application. It is not a problem. We are saying the correct thing, right? That user not found. We are saying like that only, user not found. If your application has login and sign up facility, if your application has login and sign up facility, remember there is one thing that you should note every time, that user is not able to check your home page without doing login. Are you protecting it somewhere? That your home page is welcome.jsp. Now, as a developer, I know that, okay, let's log in here. I did login. 12345 6 password welcome.jsp. This is the URL, right? I will copy this URL and I will paste it somewhere. Here your welcome.jsp page is visible directly. Got it or not? Here your welcome page is visible directly without doing login, and same way you are getting welcome null. I think I have told you this was a bug in WhatsApp, I think 10-20 days back. Now they have solved it. That if you are getting a PDF on your WhatsApp, it will show null instead of PDF name. Here welcome page is directly accessible. What I will do, I am on a new tab. I will just paste the URL. Now technically it should ask me to do login, right? I am trying to check welcome.jsp page and it should ask me to log in first. What I will do, I will just keep the URL open directly. It should not open that. Any idea how to handle this? Answer is on this page only. Check session. Where? Don't give this one or two word answer. At least try to mention your point. Answer is in these two words. in JSP, we need to check the session is null. Yes, not session actually. Let me help you out here again. Try to store it in cookies or HTTP session. Arey, we are not even discussing about cookies. Amar, what is cookies? In the welcome.jsp page, just uncheck the front end. What you are getting here, you are getting well, username is null. You are getting that username is null, right? You just check this. If username is null, send to login page. In the welcome.jsp page, what you are doing is string username. You are checking, you are getting the username from session. After getting the username, check if username is equals to null. If username is equals to null. Now how you will open the another page here? If username equals to null, I want to open login.html here. How we will open? So in login controller, we are doing something like this: response.send redirect. What I can write here? Response.send redirect to login.html. Just for a convention, we are doing this. That response.send redirect. If you are already going to login.html, this page will not even open, right? You will directly visit, but we should check it. We'll go back, restart the application. Client state information in client side cookies. So what is the use of cookies, Amar, here? Because let's say if I am a developer, I have not logged in one time also. I am just directly writing welcome.jsp page. Now, I am not a login user here and I am trying to hit welcome.jsp. And when I'm doing welcome.jsp, it is throwing error here. And obviously it's an error. In the line 6th means in the response dot send redirect. What is response here? You don't have anything as RESP, right? Here you don't have anything as RE.sp. How you can use something which is not available here? Now, half problem I have solved. Half you think that what I can write here. You know, there are other alternatives. Lot of alternatives are there. From your front end also, lot of things are there. Href login. Like how? Href login. Anchor tag. You are saying anchor tag. You have to click on that anchor tag, then only it will work. Let's say, first of all, it is a Java code. How you can write an anchor tag? If you are saying that we will use print writer to create a HTML page here, you can create. But if you are creating anchor tag, you have to click on that. I want something which is auto clicked like this. Response.send redirect. It is auto click. If this line is coming, click is done and welcome.jsp page will be opened like this. I want something here which will do the operation automatically without asking for my click. There are a lot of things actually. At the rate of page redirect. Like how? How you will redirect the page? First, you have to understand that this is the Java code now because it is written inside the JSP tag. It's a Java code now. It is not your HTML code. So think on Java level. Don't think on HTML level like that. I think JSP is already done, right? Why are you thinking so much here? I'm not asking anything from Spring or Spring Boot. I'm just asking from JSP. Creating the object of login method here inside HTML file. How? You can create the things related to session. You cannot create anything like that. You have to import that and a lot of things you have to do. Okay, for a moment, let me tell you what you are saying. So in the login controller class, which is extending a servlet, here let's create a method, random method I will create. So let's say any method, public void error method, like this. And what you are doing here, send redirect. But for sending the redirect, you should have HTTP session and servlet request and HTTP servlet response. Those are available in do post and do get methods, right? We can create objects. I am not saying that we cannot create object, but for that we have to understand that we should have the sessions and servlet request and response. Think. Development is never about writing and remembering the things. It is about solving something. Solve this now. You have already worked with JSP, right? At the rate of JSP colon forward page equals to login.html. Okay, let's try this. Are you saying like this, Rohit? Sure. Let's restart the application. So these pages are working. Directly, I will try to fetch welcome.jsp page now. Error. Error on the 6th line. You can check the error here also, like this. There is a error. Incorrect statement. Think again. Shankar, JSP done, right? Then If JSP is done, then uh, if you are mentioning JSP in your resume, this is the first question that I think interviewer will ask, that how you will handle a session or servlet request response in a JSP page. First thing, because JSP means dynamic page, and dynamic page will have session, user not available page, place or login page. What is this? User not available page, place of login page. All are in the same web folder. There is no other subfolder. Directly you can access them by login.html. First of all, this commands starting only is wrong, right? It's a AI answer. Yes, sir. Response dot send redirect. Here we'll do one thing. I will type complete response dot send redirect like this. In login controller, what I am doing, my method is having req and resp, half object name. But here let's try to type response completely dot send redirect, and here to login dot html. There we are doing like this, response dot send redirect like this, and here login.html page. So simple things we are doing here. We'll restart the application. And we will fetch welcome.jsp. And welcome.jsp now took us to the login page. It took us to the login page. So what is the difference? Why this response is directly working here? Because it is the by default object of HTTP servlet response. You can use it directly. Whatever you are keeping there is available. Let's say here you are using RESP. It is available for login controller. But if this login controller is sending the data outside, it will simply go as this response or request. Done now. Now doesn't matter how many times you are trying to fetch welcome.jsp. If you are not a logged in user, I think it's application closed. Hmm. Now again I will fetch welcome.jsp. It took me to the login page. You are not logged in. Again try to fetch. Doesn't matter because every time username will go as null. If username is going as null, come to login. When you are doing login, then username will not become null. Okay. So handle this thing everywhere whenever you are adding login sign up functionality, that whatever is your first page, or you can say the home page, welcome page, it should not be visible directly. Okay. That is MVC. What it is? It is MVC. Now what Spring MVC will add here? So let's understand Spring Web MVC now. Spring Web MVC. I will give the zip file of this project. Try to do it. Spring Web MVC is the module of Spring Framework which acts as the full stack logic. First, understand why we studied MVC. We studied MVC so that we can divide our project into three parts. Database is separate part, controller is separate part, and then view is the separate part. We did like that. Spring Web MVC divides any project into three different categories or into three different units. It is also same. Those units are M. M stands for model. M stands for model. V. V stands for view. C. C stands for controller. Model, what does it mean? Which will handle the data, which will handle the data view, which will handle the presentation layer, which will handle the presentation, or you can say your front end. Controller, which will handle the business logic, or you can say the backend logic. It will handle your business logic or back end logic. This is MVC. Spring Web MVC is a simplified design pattern to develop web applications. Now, how you will develop web application here? And you can say web application and building APIs. APIs also you can build here and building APIs. Architecture of Spring Web MVC. We have seen the architecture of Web MVC. It was very simple, but here the architecture of Spring Web MVC is a bit different. Let's understand. At first, there is a client. At first, there will be one client. Here your business logic will be written, and this is your database. Database. Once you understood this architecture, the Spring Web development will be very easy. Whenever client is requesting something, so client will send a request. The request can be anything. It can be to do sign up, to do login, to check any page. It can be anything. So whenever this client is sending the request, So this client sent a request. At first, this request will go to someone whose name is front controller. Whose name is front controller. At first, this request will go to front controller, or you can say dispatcher servlet. There are two names for the same person, front controller or dispatcher servlet. So at first the request will go to this one, front controller and dispatcher servlet. Then after, this front controller will forward that request to someone whose name is handler mapping. Whose name is handler mapping. Handler mapping. You know, we have controller here. We have lots of controller. Login controller, sign up controller. There can be one logout controller as well. There can be one another controller. So there will be multiple controllers. There can be multiple controller. There can be controller 1. There can be controller 2. There can be controller 3. Controller 3 and controller n. N means any number of controller can be there. Now when the request will go to the front controller, it don't know that which is the controller's number or name which is handling this request. Let's say client is trying to do login. Client is trying to do login. So client has sent a login request. And this front controller does not know that which controller is handling the login part, right? Handler mapping will have the detail. So this front controller will send a request to handler mapping that tell me which controller is handling the logic of login. Then handler mapping will return the controller name. This handler mapping will return the controller name to this front controller. Let me number them for your ease. This is the first flow of the request. Request is going first here. At first, this is your place. This is the first request. This is your second part. This is your third part where request is traveling like this 1, 2, 3. Then again, the front controller will know the name of the corresponding controller. Handler mapping will say that controller 3 is handling the logic of login, just for a case. Then it will forward that request to controller 3 or any controller, controller 2, 3, 4, doesn't matter. Then the front controller will send that request to the controller 3 or any other controller, which is your fourth step. which is your fourth step. Then controller 3 will do the database operation. If it requires, it will do database operation and all those things it will do. Then controller 3 will do the database operation if they are required to do so. Controller 3 will do the database operation. Then this controller 3, the third controller, will take the data from database if it is required. And when this controller 3 will return the same thing to the front controller, and it will return two things. This controller 3 will return two things. It is the fifth part. This is the fifth part, and this controller will return two things. One as model and view, means required data and the required HTML or JSP file. This controller will return required model and view both. Now this front controller is just a Java thing. It does not do anything. It got model and view, means data is separate, front end is separate, but we need to merge that data. In our login page, we are getting welcome Shivu. This Shivu is a data coming from database. It is model. This welcome is a view because it is static. We need to combine this. So front controller does not know how to combine. There will be someone who will be working as a view resolver, who will be working as a view resolver. This person will be a view resolver who will resolve the view. Then this front controller will send the data, means model and view, to this view resolver, and this view resolver will combine. View resolver, and this view resolver will mix the data with front end and return it back to the dispatcher servlet. So this became your sixth step. This became your seventh step. And finally, the front controller will return the view to the client, which becomes your eighth step. Like this. This is how Spring Web MVC works. This is how Spring Web MVC works. Let's understand them one by one. So at first, I'll keep this architecture. Step 1. In the step 1, login request, wait. This one we should keep at the top. One like this. In the step 1, what we are doing, client has sent a login request to the application's front controller. This is the first step. In the second step, which is step 2. Front controller does not know, front controller does not know that which controller is having the login logic. So it will send the request to handler mapping. It will send the request to handler mapping to handler mapping. In the step 3, handler mapping will check the controller name which is handling the logic of login and and it will return the controller name to the front controller, or you can say dispatcher servlet. I am writing both the things because if you are checking it online, somewhere you will get front controller and somewhere you will get dispatcher servlets. That's why I'm keeping both. In the step 3, handler mapping will tell that, okay, this is the controller which is handling the login logic. In step 4, after knowing the name of controller which is handling the login logic, the front controller will send the request to the same controller, right? If front controller got to know that, okay, controller 3 is handling the request, it will send to that. In the step 5, the corresponding controller will do the operation with database if required. It's not fixed that every time you will do database operation if required, and it will return model. Model means data, and view means front end or presentation. Controller will return these two things to the presentation, to the front controller. Now front controller has got the things data and view. In the step 6, front controller will send the data and view to the view resolver, which will create a page that which will create a page by combining the data and that which will create a page by combining the data and view. It will create a dynamic page. Will create a dynamic page by combining the data and view. Why we are saying dynamic? Because sometime you will get welcome Shivu, sometime you will get welcome Shivam, sometime you will get welcome Shankar. It's a dynamic page. There might be someone who is resolving the things, view resolver. So in the step 6, front controller will send to view resolver. In the step 7, the view resolver will send the page to front controller. Will send the dynamic page. You can say dynamic page to front controller. And in the last step, that is your step 8, the front controller will display the page to the client. So whatever you are able to see in 1 second, this entire steps are going in backend. Let's say here I will go to the app and I will do simple login. I can see it in 1 second, but it is not a 1 second game. There are 8 internal steps which are going inside, and that is how your Spring Web MVC works. And tomorrow we will do the coding implementation of same architecture. Okay, try to read this architecture once. If you got problem in any case, we'll solve that, and you will understand it clearly when we are doing the operations like coding. That at first I will show you that how request is going to controller, then how controller is asking the uh, corresponding controller's name, then how model and view is coming. So like that we will check. Okay, got it? Any doubt? Any doubt in today's session? Fine guys, we'll connect again tomorrow. Have a nice time everyone. Bye bye. Take care. You can also leave.